What's up, YouTube? Got a yo-yo review to do today. This is the 2Sick Yoyos flank. 2Sick Yoyos flank continues the wonderful, amazing 2Sick Yoyo tradition of naming their yo-yos after something chess related. Joey's a big chess player. To flank is, I can't remember what the move is, but it's a chess move. And this is the flank. It's a crazy good yo-yo. Let's talk about it a little bit, shall we? So, cool thing about the flank is that it's a pretty normal width. Might be a little bit on the wide side, but it has a huge diameter. Yo-yos with a big diameter often make for very powerful feeling yo-yos, and this is no exception. Tons of power in this bad boy. Tons of power, tons of stability. Huge diameter. I really like that. Very cool. It's very V-shaped, as you can see, but there's that nice little bump up there. Little bump. Very cool. And there's also some neat cuts in the center there, which is cool. I particularly like the cup design on this. It's actually pretty similar to some other things the 2Sick has done, including the yo-yo that, a little bit, not quite exactly, but kind of similar also to the yo-yo that Joey and I had been working on together, the Metalhead, which will be coming out later. But it's different than that. As you can see, there's a cool aesthetic cut there. This little cup in here is actually really amazing for finger spins. You get your finger in there, and it really just like, it almost feels like it locks in, and like you kind of get like a finger spin yo-yo type of finger spin. But, and I'll show you when I throw this around, but it's not. It's clearly just like that. Little like nipple there for the axle. Axle is super long. This thing is super smooth too. These are going to drop in like the next week or so. And I think they're $60 for the splashes, and when these splashes look good. Joey's shared a bunch of splashes on Facebook or on Instagram already, and splashes and fades, and they look like, this looks really good. This is one of the nicest looking 2Sick yo-yos I've ever seen, and Joey generally does really nice splashes. This looks really good. I like the engraving as well out here. It doesn't get in the way of anything. You can't really even feel it, but it just looks good even with this splash. It kind of almost adds to the splash, I think, which is very cool. Grind finish is nice. It's kind of it's not super blasted, but it's not like that super like thick heavy blast that can kind of cut strings sometimes. It's just like a nice smooth surface. It's very like silky smooth, dead smooth yo-yo as well. I really have been having a lot of fun with this. It really you feel a lot of power pulling it off the string and stuff just because of how big the rims are. It's kind of got a just very strong presence on the string, and a lot of stability and a lot of spin time as well. And for a mono metal, at that it's gonna be $55 for solid, $60 for splashes. At that price range, I mean, I don't know if you can get a really, you know, a better like competition level yo-yo. This is a pretty solid competition yo-yo for that type of price point. So let's do a little bit of comparison as far as size is concerned. Here it is next to the Hero from Circle City. As you can see, the diameter is a little bit bigger than the Hero, and actually it's just about as wide. So it's not a crazy wide yo-yo. It's a little wider than the Hero and a little bit bigger in diameter, but I would say the Hero is a very average sized yo-yo. So this is pretty standard size. It's not too wide, not too big. Here it is next to the G² Reaper. As you can see, again, same type of thing. A little bit bigger of a diameter, probably about 1 millimeter. And just a little bit wider as well, maybe about 1.5 millimeters wider. So not terribly big, not terribly wide yo-yo, but just because of the bigger diameter and kind of just a little bit wider, I mean, you really just get a lot of power out of that. Plus there's some big beefy, look at all of that beef in the rims there. Very cool. So that's enough of me just blathering on about it. Let's go ahead and throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what this thing can do. Alright, let's go ahead and throw the 2Sick flank around. So I think I've said this before, but Joey really only releases yo-yos that he would like, and I think he and I have very similar taste in yo-yos. So I pretty much always like 2Sick yo-yos every time. But the flank is just a monster player. Like, it really plays like really strong, really powerful, and really stable, really long spinning. And for the price and just how good it looks on top of that, I mean, you really just can't go wrong. You never really can go wrong with 2Sick. Always really good. Dead smooth and really great grind finish. You really kind of feel the power of the rims on that grind finish as well. Like as you're grinding it, you can really feel the it's aggressively good. It's the best way to say it. Aggressively good. Missed. Response is great as well. I'm not sure what the gap width is, but it doesn't feel too tight, doesn't feel too narrow. I don't have that thick of a string on here either. It's just a regular Zipline white, and it's really, really good. Flop's really nice. I think the big diameter kind of really helps with that as well. Really, you can kind of control your flops. Flops have been a lot of fun lately too for me because you can change the spin of the direction of the yo-yo. I think that's really cool. Thumb grinds, easy as pie. That huge diameter, plus you get kind of a nice big lip there to get your thumb under. Thumb grinds are really easy on this. You get great thumb grinds. Finger spins, like I said, this thing is a beast at finger spins. It is a finger spin monster. Like, just a beast at them. Really, like, if you keep your finger, like, to the outside, you're really, really, really going to get a long finger spin out of it. Which is, of course, you know, the idea of a finger spin, right? I lacerated mine, did it terribly. Great, good response, like I said. Really just very controllable as well. You get a lot of power, handles speed really well. Moves off the string really well. Easy to hit, easy to catch. As I miss it. Third time's a charm, right? Yeah. Just another really good release from 2Sick. I mean, I know I say this like every time, and you know, I would say I would compare this maybe to a little more like hardcore competition spec Olympiad. A little bit. I think that's sort of where it is. It's a little bit sharper on the angles. It's a little bit more heavy metal. And a little more power. But it's kind of got that sort of a like, I would put it sort of in that kind of realm of how it fits into the rest of the 2Sick lineup. Yeah, that finish is good. That's a good finish. That's a different finish than Joey's been using on, or had used on a couple previous yo-yos. That's really good. That's really, really good. So let's go ahead. We'll take it apart. I'll show you guys the insides, and we'll do pros and cons. All right, we are back with the 2Sick flank. Show you guys the insides of this bad boy. Let's take it apart here. It's got a pretty long axle, which I am a big fan of. Machined very well. I think Joey's got, I don't know. I don't want to say where this was machined, but machined really well. Pads fit in ever so perfectly, and I've been playing the crap out of it, so my pads are worn in a little bit. But white pads, these actually work pretty well. I'm not sure if there's a slightly tighter gap or something, but they've been very good and responsive for me. As you can see, it just rounds over ever so slightly. Joey does this. I don't know if this was a suggestion from you know, when I say about other yo-yos that don't do this, or Joey's just been doing this because it's good. This rounds over ever so slightly. Focus. Anyway, rounds over ever so slightly. Right before there, so you don't get that ping when it comes off the string. Really, just a good, just a good eye of design, eye to the details. These cuts look good here. I like those aesthetically, and this little lip here is cool. It kind of like rounds over nicely because it's a pretty harsh V shape, but this is nice and soft, so when you catch it, you're not like getting banged into a sharp corner there. Very cool. Joey used the like 5-cut bearing with this. Usually they're center tracks, but this is a 5-cut bearing. And This has been one of the best bearings that's ever come in a yo-yo I've ever received. It's been quiet, it's been dead smooth, it's been a perfect spinner. So I don't know if I really got like a cream of the crop bearing or if Joey's using better bearings in these, but if he is, these are great. These are great bearings. Big fan. Big fan. It makes the whole thing better. When a bearing is really good, when a yo-yo comes with a really good bearing, like that just immediately makes the yo-yo even better because you don't have to fudge with the bearing. Although I will fudge with the bearing if the bearing fails. I am that guy. Goes back together really nice. I mean, just solid construction all the way around. I really like the finish. It feels really good. It's probably my favorite finish Joey's ever put on a yo-yo. Really good. It feels... This is... Yes, absolutely. And the rest of them appear to be pretty much the same, at least from the shots he's put on Instagram. So let's do pros and cons. Pros, $55 or $60, depending on the color you get. Great performance. I mean, you go win worlds with this, and maybe somebody will. That'd be fun, right? Right? 2Sick Yoyos wins worlds. Great for finger spins. This really works really well for finger spins. You can really get your finger in there. Thumb grind, super easy. The finish is phenomenal. 11 finishes do not get better than this. The finish, the feel of the finish, it doesn't get better than that. The splashes, this one particularly is incredible. There's a purple one that looks really good too. There's like a sunset purpley to orange fade that looks really good. A lot of really good colors coming with this yo-yo. I kind of like the engraving too. I'm usually not a big engraving guy, but especially with this colorway with the like sort of, you know, washout acid wash splash that's in there, it kind of matches that. So I kind of like that as well. Plus it doesn't get in my way if I'm thumb grinding or anything. It's kind of out on the outside here. I like that. I liked it on the Olympiad too, and I like it on this. So like I said, in my head, if I'm putting the 2Sick lineup together of stuff, this to me sort of fits closely to, you know, what Joey was doing with the Olympiad about a year ago. I think that's what this is for 2019, and it's a way different playing. It feels way different, a lot more power, a lot more competition spec. It's really kind of like you sort of get that bimetal level like power and feel, but at the mono metal price point of like $55-$60, which is just gotta love it, man. I gotta really love it. I like Joey a lot too, so you know this may be a glowing review. In addition to that, because Joey and I are very similar when it comes to what yo-yos we like. As far as cons are concerned, I mean, there's really none. I mean, it's really, with everything 2Sick does, they sort of go down to like the very last detail of it being good, and I really think Joey, especially with the price on this one, just really stepped it up another step. I think he did a pretty large run. I think that's why the price came down on this, but you're gonna really like this yo-yo. This is a really good yo-yo. And I would highly suggest picking one up whenever they drop. More info can be found down in the description of this video. You'll find links and dates and what have you. As soon as I get it, the information, it will be in the description of this video. But this is a yo-yo you're going to want to check out this year, just because it's a good price and it's a great yo-yo, and you're going to have a good time with it. Super premium feeling. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Shout out to Joey Serrano for another masterpiece. Cheers to you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.